Hello, everybody. Couple minutes late, but we are here. We are live from Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. Timeout Talks is brought to you by Chase and Thrills Custom T-shirts and accessories, the Ice Shaker, and also sponsored by Make It Mac. We've got so much on the agenda today. I know we say this every week, but in a weird time where the NFL's not rolling right now, we still got a lot to talk about within the NFL. We've got NFL tags, player tags to talk about, a couple re-signs. Mike Evans isn't going anywhere. Maybe Baker Mayfield's next. We'll see. We'll talk about that. We're also going to get into another little NFL take here for you Patriots fans who today just re-signed Kyle Duggar. We'll also talk about that. But before we get to that, who should the Patriots take with the third pick? All that NFL stuff is going to kick off our show. Then we're going to talk some Bruins. Quick Bruins minute. Bruins back on track last night. Nice win over the Toronto Maple Leafs. We'll recap that quickly. We'll talk about the Celtics' 11-game win streak. Recap that a little bit. And preview their big matchup tonight against the Cavs. Interesting one. Some people around me, some folks around me think that could be the Eastern Conference matchup for the Celtics. So talk about that. We'll get to LeBron's 40,000 points, which Ben had to remind me of before the show earlier. It just completely escaped my mind. Of course, we're going to get to that. And to main event our show, Ben, we're finally friggin' here. It's UFC 299 week. So much on stake. Me and Ben are going to do, and this was Ben's little idea here. We are going to give you pick by pick for the main card. Couple good fights on that prelims too. We'll talk about so much to get to today, Ben. Super excited to be here.
Always excited, Josh. It was low key kind of a big NFL day. We're gonna kick that off with a couple nice franchise tags. Patriots making some big moves. Definitely end the show with that UFC. I got some nice predictions. Let's try to win some money, Josh. But just more importantly, that UFC card is going to be fantastic. Just what we've been waiting for. Last fight night was decent. I didn't really watch too much of it. Wasn't the best. Yeah, it was so. Really kind of watched the beginning of it and kind of tailed off. But we're finally here. UFC 299. Can't wait for that. Got a jam-packed week. I'm excited to start with the NFL, Josh. I'm still excited. Everything's going with it. There's a couple notable things. I mean, your boy, former boy, Dylan Schultz. It's 3 years. That's a solid move for the Texans. I like to see what they're going, like the direction where they're going, keeping that offense intact for Stroud. Robbie's in the chat. There's Josh. There he is. And as you mentioned, Kyle Duggar, the Patriots, that's a good move for them. Keep one of those key defensive players on that defense, solidify that a little up in the secondary. So I'm excited for some of these moves, Josh, in the NFL. And as you sort of point out there too, Mike Evans, I was a little disappointed. I like to see him in Tampa. I like seeing guys stay there the whole career, but I was kind of interested seeing him maybe go to Kansas City or somewhere. But he's staying back. And I think that might ruin the Patriots' chances again, Baker Mayfield, Josh.
That one, as you can see right here on the screen, Mike Evans is back in Tampa. 2-year deal worth $54 million. Ben, quickly, this was one of the biggest ones. I think all NFL, Patriots fans, everybody was kind of watching. Where is Mike Evans going to go? He's got that Super Bowl ring. But this team also made some noise last year. He felt it's a good decision. I don't like it, Ben. I think you got your ring. I think the Tampa Bay Bucks are going to be what they're going to be next year. I thought this year was kind of their ceiling, as crazy as that sounds. They've got a nice sneaky defense, but anything can happen in the NFL in 1 year. And I don't know. I thought maybe he should go to the AFC side of things, join a contender with some cap space, maybe join the Texans or something. They've still got a bunch of guys on rookie contracts, sign them to a 2-year deal. They could have made something like this happen. I don't know. Maybe I'm just kind of being weird. I don't want to see him in the NFC. But aside from that, as you mentioned, Dalton Schultz, that's off the Patriots fans' radar. And you've got a couple other signings too. Josh Allen was tagged today. Not the quarterback for the Buffalo Bills, but the Jacksonville Jaguars. Edge rusher, he was re-signed. Brian Burns as well, Ben. Russell Wilson released. Couple things. Couple feelers being thrown out for the Patriots fans. Would you feel with Russell Wilson? So a lot of stuff coming out of this. And Ben, me and James were talking about this a little bit earlier. I know you guys have seen some Bleacher Report stuff. Calvin Ridley right now is the number one wide receiver on the market. Just like that, you see guys like T. Higgins and Mike Evans get re-signed, who T. Higgins we forgot to mention as well. I mean, aside from Calvin Ridley and Michael Pittman, it kind of gets steep. I mean, the list isn't that steep, Ben.
Yeah, I know. Just last week we were having a little fun with it, Josh. Just giving all these crazy destinations. It's not crazy. They were logical. I'd like to see some of those fits, but as you mentioned, everyone's kind of staying put. Mike Evans, T. Higgins, obviously getting both tagged. Well, I shouldn't say Mike Evans getting re-signed. T. Higgins getting tagged, so he's going to be at least with the Bengals for one more year. They're going to try to work out a deal, keep that nucleus together for Joe Burrow running back. And just more defensive guys, Jalen Johnson, Antoine Winfield, Bears, enough. Bucks re-signing their defensive guys over there. Those are huge signings. So it was a little boring in the NFL. There's a lot of news, but it was a little boring. Everyone's just kind of staying put. So all smart moves. I think that's just great for those two teams. I mean, the Bears, they got a lot of options to going forward. I mean, they're going to go with Caleb Williams, and they're going to get another pick out of there. So, I mean, I think getting Jalen Johnson on the defensive side, I mean, he was a stud last year, one of the best players on that Bears team. So just getting him back on that team, just setting up that for a little bright future for the Bears. Rob, we got to talk about the Patriots. Sorry, Rob's going in on the Patriots. Usually that's what me and Josh do, but no, we're going to take it easy. We want to talk about that third pick in a little too. That's an interesting pick. But I think, yeah, so far in the NFL, everyone's staying put. All great moves. But, for the Bucks, yeah, I don't know. I kind of agree with Josh on that one. But, I think if I was Mike Evans, maybe I would have tested out there. But I think as Jimmy put out to us, I mean, hey, Tampa's got the nice weather. He's already got the one ring. Nice little run with Brady and everything. He's got some money now. And as I was alluding to, I think Baker's coming back. Baker's going to run it back with the Bucks. I don't really see him going anywhere else now. I think that's a good fit for them while they try to figure out the future quarterback. But overall, I think a little boring for the NFL. I think everyone's staying put, but so far so good for those teams.
Oh, 100%. And as you mentioned, before we get on to our Patriots topic of the day, so Rob's comments actually transition and slide in nice and smoothly, but I think you hit it on the nail there. You're going to see the domino effect in this free agency. Me and James and I were talking about this earlier. The question of the Chicago Bears, what are they going to do? Are they going to get Caleb Williams? And if they do that, they move on from Justin Fields, which it looks like we're trending in that direction, Ben. Are they going to lose the locker room? I mean, the fans are backing Justin Fields. Guys like DJ Moore want to play with him. That's your number one guy you just traded for. So it's kind of a balanced situation there. And I think in Tampa Bay, you're going to be seeing Mike Evans and Baker Mayfield. I think that's a good indication. Baker's going to be back. I know that there was a report yesterday saying he doesn't want that hometown discount. Makes sense. He balled out. Kind of, nothing's a guarantee in this league. He could be playing like the Cleveland Browns Baker Mayfield in next year. And so he wants his money now. He played very well, Ben. Deserved it. Of course, they didn't have those championship aspirations as did that Tom Brady-led Tampa Bay Bucks team. But aside from that, Ben, they played great. They won more playoff games than my Dallas Cowboys. And, hey, now we're talking about maybe a reunion back there for Baker and Mike Evans. But Rob, we're going to get to some comments here. We're going to welcome in Rob. We're going to welcome in Charlie Baker to the Pats. Let's get it. So Charlie still wants that. He's holding hope for that. We've got Rob. Tell him you're sorry. I'm sorry. I told the boys I'm sorry. I'm back in the Roofs fan club. Shout out Roofs fan club. One of the best group chats out there. I caught myself. It's kind of gone downhill. I know I'm getting a lot of blame, but it's kind of gone downhill. Nobody else has been talking in it either, so I don't want to quickly. But aside from that,
Josh all the blame. Come on.
Yeah, aside from that though, here is the hottest thing here. The Patriots, Rob talked about it. Nobody wants to play in New England. Well, guess what? Somebody's going to have to play in New England with that third pick. We've done a lot of debating on this. We posted to TikTok, we posted to Twitter, Facebook, everything in between. I will get you those numbers and the percentages in a second. Or actually, I will get you to what majority said. But Ben, with this third pick, we've heard wide receiver be thrown out. We've heard quarterback be thrown out. And to Charlie's point, they kind of talked about maybe they go in and get somebody in free agency. But Ben, we all know this. No matter what they do, this pick is pivotal in a turning point for this New England Patriots franchise.
Oh, yeah. Biggest one to date. I can't even think of a bigger one. Obviously, I mean, Brady didn't count, but I mean, probably since back then, just with that, I mean, just that impact that pick made. But you got to take a quarterback here. As I mentioned in previous shows, they're not drafting a lineman. If I see them draft a lineman, I would love it. I would relish that. But obviously they have a lot of glaring holes, but I think they need to make a splash sort of pick here. Jaden Daniels or Drake May, if I was a Patriots fan, would suffice. Commanders really looking at that number 2 spot, kind of eyeing Daniels. I'm seeing a lot of more mock boards having him. And I mean, hey, if the Patriots can land Drake May, I think, I'm more of a Drake May guy. So I think if the Patriots, I would be a little more happy on him. I think Jane Daniels got a lot of hype right now. He wasn't too good at Arizona State. He had a nice little year last year, obviously at LSU, but LSU is more of an institution. LSU, you got a lot of more skilled position players around you than Arizona State. Can make you look a little better. But I think both, got the talent. I just favored Drake May a little more in there. Here we go. Billy Zappi. Billy Zappi. Bailey Zappi. I already forgot his name. There we go. Rom's going off today. I love it. Can't forget about Zappi, though.
We got him back.
We got him back. And I saw Mac Jones making those no-look passes. Don't forget back Mac Jones. Everybody know I joke around. But for the Patriots, yeah, it's either Jane Daniels or Drake May. I'd probably, like I said, I'd lean Drake May a little with that third pick. And I know we've been talking about it, Kirk Cousins, Russell Wilson, or I think, the Patriots can't rule out this veteran quarterback either, Josh. I mean, a little Minshew mania. I know. I don't know if Chi mentioned it. Maybe Chi or Jeff mentioned in the group chat, but a little Minshew mania wouldn't hurt. I wouldn't mind, again, a nice veteran for a couple years over there. I wouldn't want to throw Daniels or May right now at the fire. That's how you lose some of these rookie quarterbacks. I don't think they're ready to start right away, especially with this Pats team. So I think you go draft the Daniels or May, and then you go get a Minshew. I'd be perfectly fine with Gardner Minshew over there. It's just a little bridge quarterback for a couple of years. Stay competitive, but still give you a little decent pick. Still be able to build through a draft with that one. So, but yeah, I'm going quarterback, Josh, with this third pick. I don't want. I know like Marvin Harrison's flashy. And I know Joe Alt's all right, to me and everything. I love those offensive linemen. I think that's how you really build a team. But I'm going Drake May. If he's right there, if I can get Drake May, and I'm a Pats fan, I'd be very happy, Josh.
I mean, and that goes hand in hand with what we've already heard. We've heard some good things about him. I guess he absolutely killed it at the Combine. Patriots raved about him. I mean, this is a guy who, they feel potentially, not even just they feel, the NFL feels, a lot of these scouts feel can come in and really transition a franchise for the better. Look at the Commanders. They're the number 2. I think my gut says Caleb Williams goes number 1, Drake May number 2, Jaden Daniels goes to the Patriots for number 3. But we took it to Twitter, we took it to Facebook, we took it to TikTok, we took it to Instagram. And majority of the people voted for Marvin Harrison Jr. I mean, we've got 35 votes.
Playmaker.
I believe 17 of them were for Marvin Harrison Jr. And then Drake May and Jaden Daniels were neck and neck. I believe Drake May was number 2. Jaden Daniels was number 3. And then other was like 4%. I think, Ben, you hit it on the nail here. You go out and you get your franchise guy. They have a lot of money to spend this year. I know that we talked about a lot of the weapons in terms of wide receivers aren't there, but guess what? You have the money to do so. You'll have some rollover next year. Just go out, maybe go get a Michael Pittman, build with maybe Kendrick Bourne. You've got a couple other pieces there that you Juju. I mean, I don't want to throw that out there, but some of these guys have to hit, go out, maybe draft a couple guys in the later rounds. But other than that, I couldn't agree with you anymore. I think it's either Drake May or Jaden Daniels. Whoever lands to them at number 3, I'd be thrilled with Drake May or Jaden Daniels if I was the Patriots. one of these guys, whether it's JJ McCarthy, Michael Penix, someone's going to be the bust, Ben. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I'd stay away from those guys if I was the Patriots. I'd do the safe thing, draft one of these two quarterbacks, Drake May or Jaden Daniels. And to be honest with you, I was kind of surprised a lot of our social media wasn't saying the same thing.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised by that too, Josh. I mean, I know they really like I was sort of mentioning uh, over there. I know they want a playmaker, but you got to have somebody to throw it to them. I don't know if you really want this. Rob has already pointed out, and hey, Rob, we can talk about Dallas and Pittsburgh. You throw some stuff out there for us. We're a little more stable right now, I guess. Well, not really us. We're kind of all over the place. But I mean, the Patriots got the juicy draft pick. I mean, number 3 pick is the highest in a while, so we got to give them a little credit, Rob. A little attention, but I mean, I just don't see the Marvin Harrison. I don't know if they would be too thrilled with Mac Jones or Bailey Zappi throwing to Marvin Harrison. I think those passes really wouldn't connect. I think these fans would be frustrated again. I think we'll be hearing a lot of boos for either quarterback. So yeah, I think I'm a little surprised by that sort of trajectory. I thought everyone would sort of go quarterback. Haven't really been kind of putting up with Mac Jones for a couple of years, so I kind of would think they want to change. I mean, she put that out there, the Minshew and May. That's a great combo. I mean, that would be a nice combo just for a couple of years and see what's going on with that, and that's what gets my attention. Yeah, the Tannehill. I know everyone's been dropping the Ryan Tannehill stuff for the Steelers. Uh, yeah, no, I don't want that. I don't want Ryan Tannehill. If we're gonna go at it with an average quarterback, might as well just keep Rudolph and Kenny Pickett. Let's see what Kenny can do. Uh, no Tannehill. Don't give me Tannehill. I don't want to. I don't care about the Arthur Smith stuff. That was many years ago. Listen, Arthur Smith's still a good coach. Uh, but Tannehill, I think Tannehill's done. Tannehill's a backup. He's a good backup, but I don't want to. I don't want to see that. And Rob, I'm not going to answer that question.
Got Rob. We've got a lot of people. Just want to
Rob
welcome
knows what
in
that is.
some of the people in the chat. We got Rob, Marianne, just kind of scoffing at that comment from Nick DeVosta, last North Carolina quarterback drafted top 10, Mitch Trubisky. I mean, that's. I think Drake
guys.
May, yeah, different.
Yeah,
I think
different.
Drake May will be a little bit better. I mean, Mitch Berg didn't work out the way Ben would have wanted it to, but maybe Drake May, he can be the answer for some team, whatever team he goes to. I think that will be the Commanders. Aside from that, we've got some other stuff to talk about here. Kind of switching gears. Bruins, the Boston Bruins. Quick little Bruins minute here. They finally got back on track. Little get-back game, 4-1 victory over the Maple Leafs last night. But Ben, something is going on in Boston that doesn't make me feel happy. And that kind of goes back to what we talked about in the past, and that's shots on net. Every game, it feels like, even last night, they won it. But, I mean, that's a credit to Jeremy Swayman, who was unbelievable. Aside from that, Ben, they have got to figure out what's going on. Last night's game was a huge turning point. Maybe they can take that momentum. They're still trending within that top spot in the Eastern Conference. So I feel good for that. But I am a little bit concerned moving forward with the playoffs in their recent history of how they've blown a bunch of leads. And to guess what? To that point, you look at a lot of these games this season, a lot of those games have been blown leads. You look at last season as well, Florida Panthers, they blew that 3-1 series lead. It's a very big concern of mine, Ben. I am happy to see them get back on track, but we still got some ways to go.
Oh yeah, Rob threw a lot at me right there, and yeah, I mean, Rob, I don't know. Rob asking that question. When have they since been back since Baker gave us that last loss? Rob, we were in the playoffs this year, so I don't really know how we missed that one, but we were in the playoffs this year. Wasn't too good of a game against the Bills. We gave the Bills a little bit of a run for their money, but we were there for this year, Rob. So it wasn't too far away, but Rob kind of hit it in that other one too. Saka having a big game for the Bruins, getting us back on track, Josh. But yeah, it was a little rough. As you mentioned, losing the last 4 out of 5. And then the Islanders kind of beat us down before this last game. It was a very rough one. to watch. But I think this Maple Leafs one's a nice way to get us back on track. There we go, Rob. I'm gonna forget about Rob. Listen, that was great. Everyone watched that game technically. Uh, but no, I think sort of these other guys, like you saw, as Rob already mentioned, Zaka scoring twice, Jake DeBrusk and one sort of getting out a little slump for him. It's good to see him come back to Formula. We're going to need some of these depth guys going forward, but it was a little worrisome, but it was nice to stop a surging Maple Leafs team that's coming. They were coming right behind us in the Atlantic. They were kind of getting close, but nice to kind of fend them off, Josh. But yeah, I'm a little worrisome with this team as we've sort of hit out through this whole season very young. So expected to go through some of these bumps, but I'm excited with this Maple Leafs one. Just good to get us back on track with this one. I know we've swept the season series so far. Got 3 wins against them. 3-0 as again, as Rob mentioned right there, that Edmonton one. This is going to be another great test. I mean, we had that electric game last time against the Oilers. Let's see if we can sort of replicate that offensive performance again with them. So as Josh pointed out to Swayman. Swayman standing on his head over there. So just a lot of big moves for the Bruins. Still, trade deadline still around. I don't know about Olemark. I was reading Olemark's might be on the market, might be on the move, but Devils might be some suitors, but you never know. If the right deal's on the table, I wouldn't mind it, but everyone knows I kind of like the double goalies, Josh. Double goaltenders for the playoff time. You never know who's going to get hot. So with the Bruins, it was discouraging for a while, but I think that Maple Leafs win got us back on track. Nice to get dominant performance in that. Again, as Rob mentioned, just we gotta show them against the Oilers tonight. This is a true test. Let's see what we can do at home. And Bruins, like this young team, I don't know too much. These expectations too much aren't on them, Josh. I got a lot of expectations on this next team. This next team, they've got everything on them right now, Josh, because the way they're playing, it's finals or bust. Winning the finals or bust.
100%. Next 4 Bruins games: Oilers, Maple Leafs again, Penguins at home, and Blues at home. 4-game homestand there for the Bruins. We'll do a little Bruins update next week.
We won't do that either, John. I'm just that Rob comment, Josh. We won't do that to your forehead. If the Bruins win, I don't know.
Yeah,
he wanted to tattoo the name. Come on.
We're throwing that out.
We're gonna maybe your forehead, Rob. Maybe we'll get Rob's forehead. But no. Hopefully they win though. I'll take that win.
100%. Like Ben said, expectations. We'll see. They've done what they've had to do so far. Hopefully they don't. Hopefully they can live up to some more in the future. Now this team, Ben already kind of alluded to, the Boston Celtics. Your Boston Celtics are on an 11-game win streak with just a statement win, Ben. I couldn't just help but watch that game on Sunday and think that this team, they are out for blood right now, Ben. Like 11 straight games they have won. They've got a very interesting matchup with the Cavaliers that is set to tip off at any moment tonight. But aside from that, they didn't even have Porzingis the other night. Their front court is just loaded. They've got 5 guys who can score at any given moment, just any second of pure scorers. I'll even throw Drew Holiday up there. And this team doesn't have an Achilles heel, Ben. I mean, our Achilles heel is we're talking about guys like Xavier Tillman and Peyton Pritchard in the playoffs. Like, how many minutes are they going to get? Their only real concern for me was their depth. I mean, we know that they're great offensively. We know they're great defensively. I mean, this team is just unbelievable, Ben. 350-plus wins. I mean, that they've routed opponents. They took the Warriors' money. They took their candy, whatever you want to say. I mean, and this team is legitimate, Ben. And I'm gonna leave it with this. I'll leave it with you. This team will not see a Game 7 until the NBA Finals. And I want to put the Miami Heat stuff to bed because I don't think the Miami Heat are going to be in that Eastern Conference Finals. Maybe they see us in the first round, but they won't be. And I want to throw a little interesting little thing out here tonight. I really want to pay attention to this Cavaliers team. I think they're trending in the right direction. And I know I've backed this Milwaukee Bucks team. I still think it'll be the Bucks and the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. But I think this Cavaliers team can make a little bit of noise in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, for sure, Josh. I would definitely back that one too. Cavs team looking dangerous of late. I mean, they got the guard play compete with us with Mitchell, Levert, Garland, and they got the big guys too. I mean, Jared Allen and Evan Mobley coming back from injury hasn't looked like he's missed a beat. So, Cavs. I mean, this is going to be an intriguing game to watch. I'm kind of I agree with the Heat one. Listen, I've been on that Heat one for a while. There's something different about this Heat team. I'm not too scared. Uh, obviously playoff Heat's different, but I don't know. There's something about this Heat team doesn't scare me. I think we can take them. Uh, Rob bringing up the Heat. The Bucks. The Bucks are a different team. I'm not too scared of them. Uh, it's just I don't know this. I mean, the Celtics team we're just passing every test, so I keep saying I'm not scared of all these teams, and uh, I don't know. I don't know who's going to trip us up, but I'm going to agree. I know Rob didn't really like that statement game. That was a different type of statement game. We remember that NBA Finals loss to the Warriors. We remember giving up that lead, so that's what that game kind of felt like. And a nice little smile on my face watching that, Josh. Just being down on the Warriors, beat them down at their own game. Just, I mean, 15 3-pointers in like the first half. It was just kind of crazy to watch them shooter from behind the arc and just kind of kill the Warriors at the game they invented, sort of the modern day one. So it was nice. Get a little revenge from the NBA Finals. So that was kind of the statement game. I kind of got what Josh was saying. I got what Josh was saying there, Rob. So we gotta back off on that one. And hey, the Warriors are creeping up there in the West too. It's looking like a playing game. Team so far. But I mean, hey, they could definitely sneak into the playoffs. I mean, if Steph, any team with Steph Curry, I'm going to give them a chance. But yeah, that Warriors team definitely has fallen a couple steps down, Josh. That wasn't, they do not look like the same team from the finals a couple of years ago. So I don't feel too bad for them, but it was nice to see, nice to get that win. And Celtics just keep cruising, just keep cruising. Uh, and kind of just scare the Cavs now, Josh. Yeah, it's scared. The 76ers, let's see what they look like with Embiid and stuff. Obviously, he's got to get healthy. That Buddy Hield trade, let's see if that can really just pay off dividends. But the Cavs, Donovan Mitchell, who's just kind of emerging as one of these great superstars. So I'm kind of scared of this Cavs right now, Josh.
100%, Ben. That is an interesting game tonight, and they have an interesting little slate ahead of them. Opposite of the Bruins, they're on a 5-game road trip. So they've got the Cavaliers tonight, the Nuggets on Thursday, the Suns Saturday, Trailblazers Monday, and then the Jazz on Tuesday. Then they come back next Thursday against the Suns. That will be an interesting one as well. But Ben, I mean, those 3 games right there, right off the bat, Cavs, Nuggets, Suns are kind of what you're talking about, kind of that test. We kind of want to see who can really take on the Celtics. I think it'll be a great little indicator. I mean, a lot of people thinking it could be Celtics, Nuggets. Nuggets kind of the safe pick in that rat race of an absolute, just a slugfest in the Western Conference. Who's going to come out? We don't know. A lot of people leaning with the defending champion Denver Nuggets. We'll get a little bit of insight on that next week. So that'll be an interesting little topic of discussion for us next week. What the Celtics record is, if they still have that 11-game win streak, which would be extended at that point, and who really can top this Celtics team. I know Rob's getting upset, but 11-game win streak. They are 8 games. 8 games above the Bucks in the Eastern Conference, just running away with that number 1 seed, which we talked about earlier in the season, which is super important. I know his Lakers, we'll get to LeBron James and that historic performance in just a second. But before we do that, this Celtics team is unstoppable, Ben. And hey, maybe we'll get a glimpse of a potential Eastern Conference Finals matchup tonight.
Yeah, I think it's, right now, as of right now, I think it's the sort of the best probability. Just as Jeff pointed out, Donovan Mitchell tonight. So obviously not, test tonight if they don't have their full squad. But I think the way that both these teams are playing right now, I think this is definitely the top 2 teams in the East. Like I said, I know Rob said we own the 76ers, but I'm still a little scared of them with a healthy Embiid, some of those trade acquisitions. But yeah, I'm kind of just looking at the rest of the Eastern Conference slate, and I'm just not too scared. I'm just not too scared. I think it's just time for the Celtics team to put up or shut up. We just gotta just finally win this. We've won every round. We've done everything this team needs to do. Now we just gotta go get that ring. We've got the roster we finally wanted. Drew Holiday facilitating everybody, just letting Brown and Tatum be the superstars, and we got their third superstar, Porzingis. Knock on wood, staying healthy. So we'll see what he can do when he's fully engaged and fully healthy with this team. Uh, I I love seeing this team hit the threes, Josh, too. But let's chill out sometimes with that. Let's try to find some other ways to win games because we saw it. We saw that three ball come to bite us a couple times. I'm not saying totally get rid of it. I know it's a three ball, league now, but I just totally don't want us to rely on that. I want us to have a couple other ways to win games. It becomes crucial in postseason games where you need to win that way, where you can't just win one type of way like you do in the regular season. You need to be able to win some of those grittier games. So, and I think the Celtics team can do it. I'm just loving what I'm seeing from the guard play. Derek White, shout out Derek White. He's just been a beast. Tatum. If Tatum if Tatum doesn't get MVP, I don't know what more else we have to do. And Jaylen Brown just being consistent. So I'm loving this Celtics team, Josh. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep. That's the Cavs. I think it's really the only Cavs in our way right now. Because I think, as you sort of alluded to, the West is kind of just cannibalizing itself right now. Everyone's kind of just trying to get to. They're kind of all hanging around the same record, trying to get the best spot for them. Hopefully, they could just beat up on each other, and we can just get a nice easy win, get a nice easy ring for us. Because this team deserves it. This team has been through everything. I'm feeling good this year, Josh. I'm feeling good. But if they don't, it's gonna be a lot of questions. Let's just say that. It could be a nice little tease if they don't.
100% championship or bust, as you and Charlie have mentioned. We're going to switch gears quick, not switch too much gears to the UFC banter, which we've all been patiently waiting for. But we're going to talk about Rob's little Lakers there. LeBron James, though, just absolutely making history. The first player ever to reach 40,000 points scored in NBA history. Just a true testament to the longevity, to the greatness, to the king. We can sit here and throw everything at the wall, Ben. It's very, very well deserved. Everybody talks about Jordan, everybody talks about Kobe, everybody talks about all these greats, and they're all great in their own ways. This guy is great in his own way. The only player to ever reach 40,000 points. This guy is my... you talk about Tom Brady of the NFL, you're growing up with him. This was the Tom Brady of the NBA for me. This guy is Mr. NBA. And of course, we always talk about who's gonna get the torch when it's passed over from LeBron James. This guy, night in and night out, is still probably the most important player on that Lakers team who has Anthony Davis. It's just insane to me, Ben, the longevity. This guy's pushing 40 years old, 40,000 points. Just tip of the cap. I might even already be over 40 years old. I've already lost track. But tip of the cap to LeBron James. Hell of a career, and has been nothing short of an NBA Hall of Famer.
Yeah, not 40s yet, Josh. I think he's like 36. He got in the league pretty young, 18 years old. So he's been around for a little while. I believe he's 36. But as you sort of just mentioned, yeah, it just kind of makes you kind of question his age because you look at him, he's obviously looked a little older, but it just doesn't change a beat. His play doesn't miss a beat, I should say, and his pace. He's slowing down a little over the years, but he really still brings it to the rim with that same ferocity and same viciousness they always has. So he really just is the most important part of this Lakers team still too. Kind of crazy. As you point out right there, even with a player like Anthony Davis, you're still kind of the biggest part over there. So it's just the longevity. That was a key word you hit. And you can have the Jordan and LeBron debate all you want, but yeah, he was my guy too. He was all of our guys just growing up being sort of the Tom Brady. He was, the 99 overall in video games. He was just the best. He was just sort of No, obviously, I just mentioned he was our Michael Jordan. He still is our Michael Jordan. Obviously, now we can sort of just see the twilight of the years coming down, and there's going to have to be an ex king of the NBA. So it's kind of interesting to see who's going to step up and take it. But I think it's going to be a while until we figure out a guy or find another player like him. As I was sort of mentioning right before that too, you can debate Jordan or LeBron, whatever, but I mean, there's no debating his longevity, what he's done for the league. I mean, he's just I'm not going to give it to him above Jordan, but I mean, I think he's in his own class. It's 1A, 1B, uh, just because of how long he's been doing it. And I mean, just those Cavs and Heat run. I mean, he was in the finals every year. So, uh, as you mentioned, it still feels like he's got a couple of years left. So, I mean, he's still kicking it around. I mean, if that, uh, I don't know about on that Lakers team. That Lakers team. I know Josh has been back in them, and that was my team last year in the playoffs. I mean, listen, I like LeBron, so it kind of even makes me root for him a little, even when he's on the Lakers. But he wants a championship. He's probably going to have to get off that Lakers team. I don't know about this Lakers team right now. Not looking too good, but just got to give LeBron's roses and continue to him. I mean, 40,000 is crazy. I don't know who's going to break it next. I don't know if anyone's going to get close to that. Maybe KD, probably not, but I don't know. I think 40,000 is just crazy, and we kind of just get used to it with LeBron, Josh. I think because we're giving him so much credit over the years, we don't want to keep giving it to him, but this kind of milestone just puts it into perspective again. So just shout out to the king, and 40,000. It's pretty crazy, but hopefully he can get off the Lakers. Hopefully he can go somewhere better.
100%. And we'll see. I mean, the talk of the town's been, where is he going to go? Where's Bronny James going to go, who has gotten a lot of criticism as of late, but only time will tell there, Ben. But time will also tell the main event of our show tonight, UFC 299. I mean, just an absolute stacked card. Ben and I have been, and we've kind of gone back and forth. Some people saying it's 299, it's 300. I mean, 299 is going to be unreal. We're seeing a debut of Michael Venom Page. We've got a title fight. We've got Poirier back on the card. As you can see here,
Poirier, yeah.
I mean, that's my guy. As you can see here, you've got two fights that could literally headline fight nights. Curtis Blades, Almeida, Gamrot, Dos Anjos. I mean, even the prelims are interesting. You've got Peter Yang, Song Yadong. I mean, it is a stacked card, Ben. And of course, as we mentioned, we're going to give you our pick-by-pick predictions for this UFC 299 in just a moment. But Ben, let's just soak in. Let's banter a second here. This, I think, is the best card so far on the year. I think it is the best card projection-wise in terms of what we're going to see later on in the year. And, I mean, this is just, if you're a UFC fan, if you're a casual like myself, more a WWE guy, but trying to get into it, this is what it's all made of. Saturday night, championship match, huge co-main event. I mean, it's just stacked all around, Ben. I'm super excited to talk about this.
Yeah, Josh. I mean, this is the type of fight, not fight night, but card, I should say. That gets everyone back onto this UFC bandwagon to get some new fans out of here. Because I mean, this card really is stacked from the early prelims to the main card. She already mentioned one of them. Listen, I am going to go Macy Barber. Let's go. I know she kind of bit me before, but it's going to be a tough one. I gotta go ride with her. Fan of hers. I think she's going to get it done this time, but yeah, see, she agreeing with us on that one. Let's go. Yeah, 299 just stacked. I mean, just looking at some of these prelims, I mean, you got Pereira versus, I'm not going to ruin his last name, but I mean, this guy's a good knowledge guy. Sometimes I don't want to ruin it for him, but listen, Pereira puts on a show. I mean, this guy's in the early prelims, so it's kind of crazy. This guy's been a main event guy for a while, main card guy, I should say. Philip Lynn's fighting CJ Vergara, always puts on a show. And, my sort of personal favorite besides the main card, Josh already mentioned it, Jolton Almeida versus Curtis Blades. That's going to be a big one, but I mean, this one, all these cards, all these fights are going to be great. Welcome to the show. Yeah, I mean, listen, that's the easy one. I think we all know where we're going with that one. I want to see Sugar Sean fight someone a little better after this one. Uh, but I think everyone's kind of a little intrigued with this one too, Josh. I mean, Saint Denis. Let's get the banter going. We want all those Poirier guys. I know Josh is a Poirier guy. I know he's gonna yell at me for the Saint Denis stuff, but I'm going Saint Denis. I think Saint Denis is gonna be big win for him. Sorry to all those Diamond fans, but no way.
That's fair. That's fair. Ben already giving a couple spoilers there. Hey, I mean, hey, we'll see the best fighter. God
Spoiler.
of War is a pretty sick nickname to have. I mean, this guy 13-1. We'll talk a little bit more about that moving forward. But I just want to say one thing too. I didn't know this. I just found this out to recent knowledge. Last time O'Malley and Marlon Vera Cheeto fought, it was ended in kind of a stoppage. Cheeto got the win in that, so we're talking a long time ago, COVID days. Been a long time, totally different champion now. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but just want to throw that out there for food for thought. Aside from that, though, let's get going here. The main card predictions. Super pumped up for this. And this one is the start to the main event. To the main card. And here it is. Peter Yan going up against Song De Jong. Interesting little match here. You've got 16-5, 21-7-1 Song with the favorable odds there at plus 114. And then you've got minus 135 for Peter Yan. I'll go quick here, Ben. Both these fighters, I don't know too much about Song, but I do know the fact that in Peter Yan's last fights, he's lost 3 of the last 4. A lot of them have gone to decision. And guess what? Song has won 4 of his last 5 fights, Ben. He's the younger fighter. I know age doesn't always play a role in this, but if you look at the tail of the tape, he's got the age, he's got the height, and he's got a tie on the reach. So I'm not trying to be over statistical here as the newcomer to UFC, but I like Song in this one, the younger fighter. I know Yan kind of got screwed in that O'Malley fight. A lot of people want to say, dating back to prior terms, but I like Song in this one. I think I like those odds too as well, Ben.
Yeah, no, I like those odds too, Josh. Give me that plus money with him. Song Yadong, the younger fighter too. That's the way I like to go too. The younger fighter tends to outlast his opponent on that one. But yeah, no, Song Yadong. It's been a contender in that bantamweight division. He was on the clear path. On his, like you said, one last 4 out of 5. Got some impressive victories over Ricky Simon. And a couple other contenders there, but he's only lost his Corey Sandhagen. That was a good little fight right there. And Corey Sandhagen's probably going to be the champion, the bantamweight, pretty soon once he heals up from that injury. So Song Yadong is a serious contender still. Like I said, just lost to Corey Sandhagen, so it's a very good loss to have under your belt. I look at Peter Yan more as a gatekeeper now for this division. Like I said, he's had a couple close losses. The Sugar Sean one obviously comes to mind. A lot of people saying, did he actually win? Did he lose? I mean, should I say, did he actually lose? That's a tough one. It's the takedowns versus the hits, Josh. What do you value more, takedowns or the damage? But yeah, I'm gonna have to go Song Yadong on this one. I think he can match Peter Yan's takedown. He's got great takedown defense. I think he's gonna land the bigger shots for the judges on this one. So taking Song Yadong with that plus money, it's gonna be nice right there.
Got a nice, interesting one here. I'm going to turn it over to Ben. You've got Gilbert Burns, Jack Della Maddalena. Ben, I mean, this is an interesting fight as well here.
Yeah, this one's interesting, Josh. I hate betting against my guy, but I'm going to have to go Gilbert Burns on this one. Give me some more plus money. Meladon just hasn't fought it. He hasn't fought the competition that I think everyone thinks he has. And this last guy almost beat him. I don't even really know who he is. He kind of was just kind of a setup fight. Kind of accepted the fight on short notice, and he kind of put Meladon, took him distance. So I mean, gave us some scary moments there. I think Gilbert Burns is just itching for a win. He's had a bunch of tough fights. They've been putting him against top contender after top contender. And I think his power is just going to overmatch Meladon right here. I think Meladon's. I don't think he's had his first UFC loss. I think he's undefeated in the UFC so far. So That two records just obviously outside of it. And I think he's going to get his first UFC loss right here. I think this is his toughest competition to date. Yeah, so I'm going to take Gilbert Burns with this one. I think he's just due for one, Josh. I mean, he's this guy. This guy's got the power. I mean, I don't think Maladon's going to hang in there like Hazmat did, and sort of just endure sort of that onslaught that Burns can deal out. Hazmat's at a different level. I think Del Madon's just going to suffer too much damage for the judges to go in his favor. Maybe even look at a KO here. I mean, I don't know. That might be a little intriguing prop bet for people. But yeah, I'm going to go Gilbert Burns here, Josh.
We got to go opposite. We got to make things a little interesting. I've been riding the
Oh,
high of Jack Della Maddalena, however you pronounce his
Maladon.
last name.
Oh, you got it right.
As you've been mentioning here, since he's joined the UFC, 6-0. I mean, winning his first 6 fights in timely fashion. I mean, it feels like he just joined the UFC not too long ago. I know, as you've mentioned, Gilbert Burns clearly itching for a big win, Ben. I mean, against a young fighter here emerging onto the scene. This would be a huge win for Burns to kind of climb up the rankings as well, get a little bit closer to maybe a title contention shot in the future. Aside from that, though, I think Gilbert Burns, as you've mentioned, is clearly the more established fighter. He's gone against Masvidal. I'm pretty sure he's fought Islam. I could be wrong on that one. I mean, he's just got so much more experience, so many more miles on him. But I think in the opposite direction of you, I like Jack Della Maddalena here. I'm riding my gut. I can't go against him. I like the odds, -120. And as you've mentioned, he's undefeated in the UFC. He's going to remain undefeated in the UFC.
I like it, Josh. I like it. Not really, but I'm going to go Gilbert. I'm going to go Gilbert.
All right, now we'll go to the next one. I can take over quick for this. So we've got Kevin Holland, Michael Venom Page. I mean, a guy that I've been following. I don't watch Bellator, but I've watched so many Instagram reels. This guy, you talk about pure knockout power. Well, a guy with pure knockout power has just joined the UFC. I know he's a little older now, 36 years old, but I think he can make a difference in this matchup, Ben. I like the underdog. I know that's kind of been your theme here. Both of these fighters, though, I love. I love the kind of the tacky, tenacious kind of taunting that comes from Kevin Holland. But there's just something about Michael Venom Page. I think, as we talked about for Jack Della Maddalena, obviously 2 different tiers here, but I think he's going to burst onto the scene. He's an established fighter. I know this is his first UFC fight, but I really like his chances in this one. I know he's older than Kevin Holland, and that's kind of been, the trend I've gone on in terms of if I was to build a parlay, it'd be a lot of the younger guys in these fights. But that doesn't always matter. We saw John Jones burst back onto the scene after 2 years off. It's not like Michael Venom Page hasn't been fighting, and this guy's got clear knockout power. Although I would love for him to knock him out, I'm going to make a little interesting decision here if you're a parlay person or you want to put some good odds. I think that this fight does go to decision because I have too much respect for Kevin Holland. But I got to ride with Michael Venom Page. I've seen too many reels. He's been actually one of the guys who I was going to kind of watch one of his fights in Bellator, but he signed a UFC contract. Now here we are, 21-2, 12 knockouts. I think he gets the job done.
I like that, Josh. I like you going with him because I'm going with Holland. I'm gonna go with the UFC veteran over here. I think Michael Page had. I've really seen too much. I'm surprised Josh has seen a little more than me. I've just kind of heard the name. I haven't really seen it. Oh, he's had some brutal knockouts, and as you mentioned, these guys are both a little showmen. These guys, I like the taunting in the ring, and I think that's just going to make this fight even better to watch. I think we're going to see some nice theatrics out of it too, and it's going to be a nice little show. But I think Kevin Holland's experience in the UFC is going to be put on display, and I think he's going to control it. I think he's going to calm down that excitement from Page. Everyone's probably going to be around behind him, I should say. Crowd's probably going to love the newcomer, but. I'm gonna go with Kevin Holland on this one. It's a nice little pick 'em. I go to either way. But I'm gonna go with the UFC experience. I'm gonna go Kevin Holland. Uh, he's my guy. He's my guy. I like what I've seen so far in some of his recent performances. I think he gets it done, Josh.
Now here we go. This is the co-main event. a matchup that so much banter has come from just between your three hosts of Timeout Talks, between James, Ben, and Josh.
Everyone's been waiting for.
Everybody's been waiting for this. The main event too. I've got an interesting little take on the main event, but I'm gonna say one thing here, Ben. As a Dustin Poirier fan, I know we talk about Michael Venom Page. I know we talk about Jack Della Maddalena. I like those guys. They intrigue me. But this is the guy who really got me into UFC. Dustin the Diamond. We know his history with Conor McGregor. Just a classy fighter. I've loved him. He can get it done on the mat, or he can get it done with knockout power. I'm a little nervous for this fight. I'm going to be completely honest. The God of War, Saint Denis, I know he hasn't really taken anybody out in some UFC fans. I mean, that's kind of been the argument here is this is his first legitimate fight. This would be his first legitimate win. I personally think this is going to go to decision. I got to ride with Poirier. There's no way he gets knocked out again. I think he's really got to grind back. I think a lot of UFC fans and Poirier fans have shown a little bit of doubt in him. I think he's going to get the job done. We've been kind of running the trend of taking those underdog odds. I'm going to do it. I can never go against the Dustin Diamond. Shout out Dustin Diamond. And I like this Saint Denis. I mean, the God of War, sick nickname. It's got upset written all over it in terms of, star power. But I like Poirier. I will never root against him. I don't care if he's going up against John Jones. It's not going to happen. That's my guy. I'll say he wins this one by decision. Close one. And I'm a little nervous for this fight, Ben.
I always respect you backing the guy. You got to back the guys just like what we did with Volk a couple weeks ago. Got to back our guys that got us this far. We're fans for a reason. So be a little tough against John Jones, too. I'd like to see that fight, the Diamond versus John Jones. That'd be an interesting one, but yeah, I'm going with Chi on this one. He doesn't stand a chance. Everyone knows I've been listen, I'm not a Poirier hater. I know they like to pay me as that, but I think Saint Denis is the real deal. I think he's going to be the future in this division. I just want to pull away the lightweight division over here. Just wanted to double check, make sure. But I think he's just going to be able to take him down. Poirier's takedown defense isn't the best. I know it was pretty good and everything, but I think Saint Denis is going to be able to get him on the ground, control him down there, and I can ride with the decision. I think Poirier, like you said, it's going to be close. I mean, Saint Denis got the power, but Poirier's too tough. He's not going to get knocked out twice. But yeah, I'm going to go with Chi on this one. I'm back in Saint Denis heavy. I kind of alluded to it a little earlier, but I'm back in Saint Denis heavy. Parlay piece. They want everyone to piece it. Sorry to the Diamond fans, but give me the God of War.
That's a fair one, Ben. That's a tough one. I mean, when you got a name like the God of War, it's going to be tough to kind of stand toe-to-toe with you. Such a good nickname there. Here we go. Our main event of $2.99. I know a lot of people not really too excited for it, but it's the second matchup. And, I mean, Cheeto did win that first matchup. We've got plus 180 odds there for Cheeto. Minus 218, 17-1, 1 no contest for O'Malley. I mean, he has just been dominant in that division. And I think it's going to continue, Ben. I know Cheeto had the win, but this is a different O'Malley. I actually want to apologize because I said 12 knockouts for Michael Venom Page. I actually got that confused. It's 12 knockouts for O'Malley since joining the UFC. This kid has unreal knockout power at such a small division. I mean, talk about welcome to the Sugar Show. Talking about a casual fan really just joining in on the UFC. This guy has the it factor. I know people like James kind of argue, his numbers and his ratings aren't as good as people think. But aside from that, we know what he can do. He's proven me wrong. I thought he was going to get knocked out against Peter Yan. He beats him. He beats the next challenger and so on. And I think he's going to continue his reign that could be coming to a halt soon. We've got a couple people knocking on that door, but I like him over Cheeto. I think time's kind of done here for Cheeto. He had his win back when. O'Malley will continue to hold his little belt there in dominance. I'm going to say another knockout. 13 knockouts for Sean O'Malley. This is one I feel very confident in happening.
Yeah, agree with that, Josh, completely. But yeah, I love Cheeto. I don't really know why he's getting another title shot. He kind of lost that challenge to I forget who it was to, but we kind of lost out on that opportunity. Don't really know what kind of deserved it. This one, Rams kind of higher on the division rankings. There's a couple other guys a little higher than Cheeto, but I think they're just trying to keep Sugar Sean the champion a little longer because, as Josh mentioned right there, this division's there's a lot of people knocking right here, and I think Sugar Sean's not going to be the champ for much longer. But I think he's going to pass this test. I think he's going to, sort of fix the mistakes from the last Cheeto fight. Obviously, both fighters have grown a lot. In different directions. Cheeto's still a very good fighter. I think it's going to be a close fight. Going to be a great fight. But yeah, I see Sugar Sean walking away with this one, and I continue his title reign for a little longer. But that's the main thing with. It's because Sean called him out already. It's because all right. That's Sean did call him out, boss. So I did forget that one. Thank you for that one for Chi, but. I still want to see someone else. Listen, Cheeto's great and all, but there's just so much talent in that bantamweight division. I just can't wait to see the future challengers. But I think Sugar Sean handles this challenge and moves on. But watch out for Merab. Merab's going to take this belt soon, Josh. Just saying it right now. It's the biggest thing I want to say with this fight. It's going to be great for Sean to get this win, but I don't think it's going to be too much longer. It's going to be holding that title, Josh.
Oh boy. Little alluding to something there for the future. So the Sugar Sean fans and the Sugar Show, that could be coming to a halt. And hey, maybe it could happen at 299. I doubt it. Ben doubts it. I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. We've got Marianne, Nick, Charlie, Jeff,
Robbie.
Nick, I might have already said. Robbie, I cannot forget Rob. So thank you to everybody for tuning in. A lot of views on Twitter. Just want to thank you to all the Twitter people watching. Thank you. We appreciate your support. Don't forget to follow us on TikTok as well at Timeout Talks. Just want to say thank you. As always, I'm going to turn it over to Ben to finish things up.
Actually, echoing all that again. Thank you to everybody tuning in. Showing us on the comments too. Great show as always. Robbie and she got the energy. Love it over there. So we'll see. We'll compare these picks too. Everyone will remember our picks and see how we fared over the weekend for UFC 299. But yeah, the main points just Patriots get that quarterback at the third pick. And Josh, let's go Saint Denis.